Greetings everyone, this is Chris McKee with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us on the web at alamomusic.com. Today we want to refresh a video for you, a very popular video of ours for 2018, because new models come out, existing models get refreshed, and we're always looking at the landscape of guitars to try to help you find the best deal and the perfect guitar to fit your needs. We don't want you to get a good deal on the wrong instrument, and we want to let you know the things that should be on your radar. So for 2018, we want to bring to you the top 10 guitars, acoustic guitars, under $300. What we're going to do is we're going to start at about the best value in acoustic guitar that money can buy. Of course, I am talking about Fender's FA100. Now, I should qualify this. If you watch our channel at all, you might have seen us take one of these and throw it in the trunk of a car all day long and see how it fared. And it actually did pretty well. So you can go check out that video. It was a lot of fun to make, and it was kind of surprising to see how well the guitar turned out at the end. This is not that exact same guitar, but it was playable and it held together just fine. The point of that is that these guitars are kind of ideal for a beginner because they are kind of robust. They have an all-laminate construction that gives you a pretty good tone, but can stand up to the rigors that a student is probably going to put it through. So it can survive in your vehicle, although I still wouldn't recommend leaving it in there. But it's going to handle bumps and bruises and drops and everything and still be a great guitar with pretty good playability and good sound that you can learn on. And this is in stark contrast to another video we did where we wanted to see if you could get a guitar for 40 bucks that's going to meet your needs. You can't. Go watch that video, you'll see what I'm talking about. You get a really cool pick though. But you know, with the FA100 for about $120, you get this guitar and you get a gig bag from Fender. And it's a bare bones, straight acoustic guitar. There's no electronics in it. It's a pretty plain bag, but it's got pretty good tone. The playability out of the box is pretty good. Definitely a sight better than most of those $40 guitars that we've seen. So it's playable, it sounds good. It is an instrument that will allow you to play. It's far better than the first acoustic guitar I ever had, that's for sure. And so if you are starting out and you are trying to spend the least amount of money possible, the very best value is this. It is the Fender FA100 acoustic guitar. We're gonna play it real quick so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. Check it out. Now the next guitar on our list is actually not a steel string guitar. There's a lot of options at this price between say about $100 to $300. Sometimes it's steel string. There's also great nylon string guitars and acoustic electric guitars that we'll be looking at within this price range. The guitar that I'm holding is from Cordoba. This is the C1M. This is their protege model, and it's designed specifically for people who are looking to purchase their first guitar and learn how to play. Now, a lot of instructors and schools recommend starting with a classical guitar. That's how I started learning to play, and it's perfectly fine. If you're looking for a great value in that, you got to check out this guitar. So the C1M comes with just the guitar. You can get it in a full size as well as in smaller sizes like a 3/4, half size, quarter size, and so forth. So if you have a young child who's going to be taking classes and a full-size guitar is too big for them, you can get them the same model in a smaller size, which is great. Like the FA100, it is all laminate, but it has a great sound, and it has great playability and really, really good quality construction at this price point, which is what you get from a good, reputable company like Cordoba. There's really not a lot of things I could complain about at all. Looking the guitar over, it plays well, there aren't any sharp frets, and it sounds good, and it's under 140 bucks. So, you know, that's kind of ideal if you are a parent or a student starting out wanting that classical guitar and you don't want to spend too much money. This has got to be on your list as one of the ones to take a look at. So the C1M, this is a full-size model. We're going to play it for you now so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, so if you've been following our videos for any period of time, you should know by now that I'm a huge fan of Yamaha acoustic guitars. Yamaha has been making guitars for decades. We see people come in all the time with great Yamaha guitars they bought back in the 70s. And they are still great instruments that just sound better and better with age. A few years ago, Yamaha made the decision to switch from the FG700 to the FG800 series. And in doing that, they scalped the bracing and did a few other refinements on the neck and whatnot. And the result is a really fantastic, robust sounding guitar. Now, the one that I'm holding in my hand right now is actually at the top of our price point. This is the FG830. But the FG800 comes in the acoustic only version right at $199. There's an 820 and an 830 version as well, which tops out right at $299 at the top of our price range. But the FG830, 820, and 800 are mostly different primarily due to aesthetics. This has rosewood back and sides, whereas the 820 has mahogany and the 800 has NATO. This has a beautiful abalone rosette. The other two don't, but the construction's all the same on all of them. So laminate back and sides, solid spruce top, scalloped bracing, and that's where your sound's really coming from. So if you're looking for a great playing dreadnought guitar or maybe a concert size, which would be their FS model, then you definitely want to give a Yamaha a try in the store so you can hear the robust sound that comes out of it. If you don't have the opportunity to go to a store and hear that, that's what we're here for. So we're going to play this so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. But FG800 through the 830 or the FS800 through the FS830, that's going to be $199 to $299. You pick what is aesthetic choice you prefer, and you're going to get a great playing and sounding guitar out of it. Check it out. Okay, so this is a Fender guitar that, since it's been redesigned, we've been very, very happy with. This is the CD60S. This happens to be the CE model, but I want to talk to you about both this and the non-CE model. So the CD60 also basically kind of covers a range of guitars in the classic series from Fender. You have the CD, which is the Dreadnought, the CC, which is a concert. There's a new CT version that we've covered in travel guitar videos with 60 on the end, and S. The S denotes it's a solid top, and then you can get the cutaway electric version as well. These models are available with spruce tops, a number of finishes, and mahogany top versions, again, with or without electronics. If you get the non-cutaway, non-electronic version, it's $199. So like the Yamaha we were just looking at, it's a lot of value. Now, the distinction between this and the Yamaha, the neck's a little different. It's glossed on the back instead of satin. The nut's a little narrower. The scale length's a little bit different. It still has a solid top, and it still has scalloped bracing. And so if you are able to A/B them, you might prefer the feel of one over the other. If you don't have that opportunity, then you can listen to them on this video. You'll probably prefer the tone over one or the other. And I can tell you that this has a little slinkier but a little tighter feel to it, whereas the Yamaha with the satin neck is nice and fast, but a little bit more tension on the strings and a little bit longer feel to it. So overall, both fantastic guitars. This with a pickup at $299 is a really fantastic value, regardless of the finish that you get it in. Listen up and you'll get an idea of the great tone that comes out of this guitar. Check it out. Okay, so now I'm holding an Epiphone, and yeah, this basically, if you're not familiar with Epiphone, Epiphone is a company that's owned by Gibson, and it is their import line where a lot of their designs that we know from Gibson are done under the Epiphone brand name at a more value-conscious price. And this is one of those. This is the AJ220S. And if it looks familiar, that's because it's basically like a J45. It is a round shoulder Dreadnought guitar. In this particular case, it is in a vintage sunburst finish, and it features a solid Sitka spruce top with scalloped bracing. It's 25.5 inch scale, and it's a 1 11/16 inch nut. It's a lot like a J45. It comes in some other finishes, but really, it should come in vintage sunburst. I mean, that's the quintessential look, I think. And you can get it either in this all acoustic version or an acoustic electric version as well. So what else can we say? You know, it's got that quintessential kind of Gibson lo-fi sound to it, where there's a certain earthiness. You know, I hate describing sound with human words. It's weird, but there's a softness and a mellowness to the sound that you get that is very appealing, particularly for certain genres of music. So as you listen to the sound bites of what we're recording for you, you'll hear some of these guitars that have this bright, articulate sound, and then some that have this rounder sound to them. And that's kind of what we're talking about here. This, I think, has the roundest sound to it, this soft, kind of warm, orangey, light sound to it. So really, really nice and great for the money. $263 for this great guitar. So yeah, I mean, what else can you say? It's a huge value to get a classic design like this that plays well and sounds well. So check it out. Okay, so we have another Yamaha on the list, and I should say at this point, there's a few qualifiers about the rest of the guitars we're going to see. One, I want you to know that we're kind of already at the top of our price point, and we got there really quick with our budget of $300. And there's a reason for that. You know, you can make a guitar at a certain price, and to get to certain prices, it kind of becomes impossible, and you start sacrificing the instrument. When we talk about the best guitars, under $300, it's kind of should go without saying that most of those are going to be like right at $300 or in this case $299. I will also tell you that we don't always carry all the guitars we're putting in the video today. We are not a chain store, we are not Walmart, nor do we want to be. That means we can't carry everything, but what we want to do is show you, in our opinion, whether we have it in stock or not, what the best guitar is. So just wanted to throw that out there for you. This one we do have. This is a Yamaha APX600. This is a cool guitar that we've talked about in other videos before, and it comes in a variety of finishes. I like this sunburst finish. You can get it in natural, you can get it in blue, all sorts of things. And this guitar is really ideal for someone who is primarily an electric guitar player who needs a comfortable, well-playing stage guitar. And that's what these are. So it's a thinner body style. So it's kind of a small kind of concert body shape. It's thinner than most of these acoustic guitars. It has a great onboard pickup system from Yamaha. It's got a nice scale, nice feel to it overall. And you know, again, if you're used to holding a Stratocaster all day long or something like that, or Yamaha Pacifica maybe, and you need something to play at gigs, and you really don't want to have a guitar that's going to feedback a lot and plays really well and is comfortable, that's what this is designed for. It's to be your second stage guitar. It's all laminate construction, but they've done some cool things with the top, with the bracing and the thinness, so it resonates really, really well for being an all laminate guitar. Kind of surprising, actually, with how well it sounds, given that laminate construction should rob it of some of its resonance, but it's pretty resonant as an instrument. So don't take my word for it, listen for yourself. Here we go. So we have another nylon string on our list, and this is also from Cordoba. Now, one of the things I like about Cordoba guitars, and we've done a full video talking about their entire lineup, is that you can adjust the setup. You can adjust the relief on the neck, because these classical guitars actually have a truss rod in them, which is not typical of most nylon string guitars. This is the C5, which is where you move into solid top construction in the Cordoba line. The C3M before this is pretty similar, but I really like the C5, and it is really the flagship in Cordoba's affordable nylon string catalog. So it's mahogany back and sides that are laminate. It's got a solid cedar top to it with traditional fan bracing. It's a Spanish heel with a truss rod in the neck, and the neck is a nice, comfortable carve. It's not overly thick. So again, if you are looking for a nylon string guitar and you're starting out, but you do want that resonance and depth of tone that you get from a solid cedar top, this is the guitar that you really should be looking at. It's right at $299, and it comes really playing well right out of the box. So I've owned a few Cordobas, both affordable ones and more precious ones, and they're great guitars. So this has a lot of robust tone to it. See for yourself. All right, so we're back to a Yamaha, and this is actually part of that same FG series that we were just looking at, but I wanted to show you the FS body, and this is the FSX800C. So the X denotes that this is a cutaway acoustic electric guitar. That's the X and the C that's in the designation for the model. And this is the FS body. So this is really kind of what Yamaha calls a concert series guitar in their nomenclature. It's similar to like a triple O or an OM, like an orchestra model guitar. Not as thick as a Dreadnought, tighter waist, overall smaller guitar. Responds with a light touch really, really well. It's going to handle medium strumming pretty well. If you're a real heavy strummer, you probably want to go to the Dreadnought. But this 800, it's a Yamaha acoustic electric at the top of our budget. So right at $300 and available in either of those body shapes, the concert or the Dreadnought. And so you heard the Dreadnought earlier. Now you get to hear a sound sample of what this smaller body concert sounds like. Here you go. Okay, so this is, wow, where should we start? This is an Ibanez, part of their Artwood series, and these are thermally treated guitars. What that means is they take advantage of a word that's kind of been a buzzword in the industry, which is torrefaction. Some people say it's thermally treated, some people say it's roasted. A lot of different companies have different names for torrefaction. ARE is the nomenclature that Yamaha uses, Martin says VTS, what have you. The bottom line is that for $299, Ibanez makes an open pore finished acoustic guitar with a thermally treated top. And what that means is that for just under $300, you're getting a guitar that's already opened up, okay? So it's a lot more resonant than it otherwise would be. What does that mean? That means that you get richer tone and more volume. That's what that means. In addition to that, this meets a lot of the hallmarks that we kind of know from Ibanez. The neck's extremely comfortable. and it's got a great setup to it. Crisp white binding, it's got a nice look to it. It's a really, it's kind of the golden age of guitars that we're in. For $300, the fact that you can get this good of an acoustic guitar is impressive. Clean lines, there's nothing that would indicate that this thing was a budget or value priced instrument at all. And some of you are probably going to go, well, that's an expensive guitar. Yeah, it's not really. And if you don't believe me, we just finished selling a bunch of band and orchestra instruments. You could price compare what a saxophone for a student costs. We can get a really, really great instrument for $300, and we're fortunate to be able to do that. So, fantastic guitar. These come in a variety of body shapes. There's a very cool parlor version. This is more of the OM version. It comes in a dreadnought as well. This whole series is great. This particular model is the AC340 OPN, which is open pore. Great guitar. It sounds great. Let me prove it to you. So the last one on our list is really a more modern interpretation of the acoustic guitar. This is the Breedlove Discovery concert guitar. If you're not familiar with Breedlove, it was started back in the 80s by brothers Kim and Larry Breedlove, who've got some history with Taylor guitars. And they wanted to design some guitars that definitely had a modern tone and aesthetic to them, a flair for some of the artistic designs that are on many of their high-end master-built guitars. And that's really what they offered for a number of years. I believe they first started having their import line about 15 years ago with the Atlas series, which was when that started. And now we have this Discovery series. Imported from China, this comes in right at $299, and it is really a great guitar. It's got a different look, which isn't going to appeal to everybody, but if you like something that's kind of non-traditional, this may be the perfect guitar for you. It has that same tone as well. It's a more modern tone, so there is a richness to the bass, but there's a definite articulation on the high strings, on the treble notes that you play, and that allows you to really excel at fingerstyle stuff, and you know, it's something that Taylor's been known for a long time, and it's something that this guitar does a pretty good job at doing for about $299. Playability is great. There's no signs that this is a lower price instrument from a fit and finish standpoint. The neck's comfortable. It plays pretty well. It could use a setup, but otherwise that's about it. And I really like the sound that you get out of it. So the Discovery Concert's a great guitar. Breedlove's a pretty good brand. I've had more experience with their really high-end ones, and I've loved a lot of them that I've played. So it's neat to see them offer something like this at this price. And take a listen, and you'll see if you can kind of point out what I'm talking about with the articulation that you get out of the guitar. I should say, so scallop bracing, solid spruce top, it's laminate mahogany back and sides. It is a 25.5-inch scale. It's not quite a 1 3/4-inch nut. It's like 1.69 inches, I believe. So just under that. But really just a nice looking instrument that plays well. It's a good value for sure to finish off our run here of acoustic guitars. So take a listen. So there you have it. This is our first buyer's guide of guitars, acoustic guitars in the $300 price range. So $300 and under. Stay tuned for more of these as we refresh for 2018. And if there have been some brands or models that we missed in the past, you may be pleasantly surprised with our new takes as we go up to some of the higher prices. So as always, thanks for watching. If you have questions on any of these guitars, definitely go to our website. It's alamomusic.com. Call the number below, and we'll be glad to talk to you about any of these and help you make the right choice to meet your needs. Thanks for watching.